about going now into the prevention thing again for the babies? Now, we were talking for the mom, the postpartum.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about the health of the babies. They're, omega-3, how does it help to avoid things like ADHD, autism, allergies, etc.?
I think there's probably two key things I could focus on. There's probably a few other things. But the two things would be to have a strong immune system. Okay. So strengthening the baby's immune system, having it function optimally. Because the things like, I believe from what I've taken in from clients and read, is that, vaccines can be a trigger and other things can be a trigger. And so allergies, and actually a lot of the experts and the medical doctors and doctors will say that there's a dysfunctioning immune system behind over 90% of the diseases and conditions. So whether it's overactive or whether it's underactive.
Right.
So that would be number one. Strengthen the immune system. Not that it's number one out of the two.
Right.
Number two would be to support the brain.
Right.
To support every cell. You got all these new cells and the windows and the doors, as we talked about. So you have that optimum functioning of communication within the body. So building healthy new cells. When you do that, the brain is communicating alongside with the immune system. And you have this beautiful support system within the body for how it has to function.
Okay, makes sense. And these are all very important points, especially for me, because I had two children, one of which has special needs, and one of his biggest concerns was his immune system. Definitely was not functioning to the level that it should have been. And thankfully he's been on OM also for 4 years now, and I can tell you his immune system is excellent now, and considering how non-functioning it really wasn't functioning at all before. I can give a brief example. Him in school, if he were to catch a cold, we all know the colds that go around in the school systems. He would catch a cold, he'd be off probably minimum a month to 2 months.
Wow.
That's a lot of home time from school. He now, and ever since he started, it was almost an immediate thing that his attendance went skyrocketing high, because he no longer gets that sick with the common cold. If he were to catch a bit of a cold, it lasts maybe a day or two, just like it would for anyone else. And often nowadays he's the only one in his class, because he has a special needs class. There's 5 of them. 4 others will be gone, and he's the only one who's still there, because he's not getting the colds that are spreading around the school. So
it's a very important. I think of my own children as well. They hardly ever get sick.
Yep.
Ever. And if they do, well, they went to too many birthday parties. They're consuming. I don't keep them on a leash.
Yep.
So they consume all this food, and I can see them getting run down. I can see them, and of course that's when the sugar will.
I was going to say, is that
suppress
sugar?
the immune system, and things will take hold.
Yeah.
But it lasts such a short period of time.
Yeah.
And really, there was a point there, I think it was probably a good year and a half, they actually, the one school year, didn't have one cold.
Yeah.
We're bound to get things, and you're bound to have things come up.
Yeah.
And you're bound to have those stressful times of your life, maybe moving, changing jobs, whatever it is, that when you're best supported, that's when these things don't get too carried away.
Exactly.
You don't get into the chronic scenario. You're just in the acute phase. And one of the things that has come up recently for me when I was in South Africa and stuff is how the brain, how it is. Because it's just not a gray mass. There's things about it, like the pituitary and the pineal gland specifically. And with what that is, if I have to say the pineal gland and the pituitary, they have a huge role in the connection within amongst people, a connection
Right.
within themselves, and a connection with people.
Right.
So at more of a little in-depth look at it, we actually, by taking healthy omegas that are balanced, we actually get that connection. We get more connected.
Right. Which I could say would be a very important thing for mother and child, father and child. You know, that is that whole bonding experience as well. So that's a good side point to add in there. Thank you, Cheryl.
My pleasure. Here to help.